All right, hello, I'm Casey Jones, and this is my reflection on my educational journey. Factors that impacted my educational journey. In high school, I was an athlete, and that definitely impacted my educational journey in a way that it made me get good grades. It was a motivation to keep that 2.0 in order to like stay in the sport. Other factors was being from a really small town. It was a motivation to prove that just because I'm from a small town doesn't mean that I can't go to college or that I'm not going to be successful, just like the other like bigger schools. Um, and also personally, that impacted my educational journey was having supportive parents along the way. They were always taking me to these, SAT tests and stuff like that. And then come college as well, they helped me financially and they were supportive if I ever had a mental breakdown. They were always a phone call away. Um, some key concepts take away from my educational journey. Um, Achievement gap. So now being a teacher, I totally understand achievement gap a little bit more, especially since I work in a small school just as I grew up in. Being from a small town and low income, there's a huge achievement gap. Because you're low income and because you're from a smaller school, people not necessarily in the school or the site, but people outside of it, they think that you're not going to be as good because you're from a small town and because the resources aren't there. And I'm very thankful that the school I'm at right now is our achievement gap is slowly closing. We have some of the higher test scores in the county, and we're slowly closing our achievement gap. Um, and that's exciting because growing up for me, it never closed. And um, there wasn't an encouragement to go to college. It was always like, well, I mean, you're from Dos Palos, like you won't succeed. And so now it's nice to hear that we're motivating students to go to college and that they can do it and they are smart enough because they are, just like everyone else. Stereotype, I mean, being a girl, it's especially in my profession as a physical educator, it's always harder to get jobs and to prove yourself. You always have to prove yourself. And it's frustrating at times because it's like I got higher test scores than the boys. I know I know more sports terms than the average girl. So being in this profession, it's always stereotyped, but um, it's all about proving yourself. So that's my educational journey. Thanks.